All right, we got a quick little series of videos here today. I got a 2014 Jeep Wrangler here behind me. So the reports that I got here is that it has a slight stutter whenever you take off from a stop, and it overheated on her once, but it seems to be hit or miss on whether or not it will overheat. Right away, we're going to do a coolant drain flush and change the thermostat. The thermostat on these are absolutely terrible. They get gummed up. That coolant breaks down over time and gets like this gooey, gummy stuff in it. So we're going to flush it out, and then we are going to swap that thermostat, and we'll get that cooling system put back together. Now, for the vibration at takeoff, she has traction control and ABS lights on. We'll pull the codes on that, and we'll see what that looks like, and we'll start with that in this video. All right, here we are. We got the old scanner on it, and we got a C1035 code, which is right rear wheel speed performance, comparative performance. Essentially, it's just saying that the right rear wheel speed sensor is not reading correctly, which would explain why the ABS and traction control lights are on and why it starts to activate whenever she takes off from a stop every time. So we're going to start by tackling that, and then we'll move to the coolant. There's a handful of other codes in the PCM, and they are all clock spring related, which if you did not know this and you have a 2014 Jeep Wrangler, they did a recall on the clock spring. So it's not even worth trying to replace yourself. They're very expensive, like $305 or something. So just take it to the dealer, let them do it for free. But for today, we are going to knock out this wheel speed sensor, and then we will knock out the thermostat afterwards, which will be a separate video. But let me get this thing jacked up and get that back right tire off. So what we need to look at is look at the sensor itself and look at the integrity of the wiring going to the sensor. Sometimes the little clips that hold the wires down to the sensor, they will break, and then they'll chafe or get rubbed from the rotating assembly and short out. So we'll get down there and see if the wires are intact. If so, we will grab a new sensor and we'll get it swapped. So let's see what we can find. All right, we're gonna get right in here at this wheel speed sensor. I'm not even gonna take the tire off to get to this thing because we should be able to access it no problem without it. I did get on the pumpkin and jack it up just some to give myself a little bit more room, but that's because I'm very big. But yeah, let's slide under here and see what we can see. All right, so if you're back here at the back side of the vehicle, you'll see your brake caliper here. Come right over the top. Wham bam, there is our wheel speed sensor right there. It is held in with an 8mm bolt right on the top side right there that I'm pointing at, and the harness runs down up here and around on this side. So you'll want to inspect all of that harness all the way up to the frame rail up here for any sort of chafing or rubbing. I've already looked at this one, and there is no evidence of any rub or chafe, so we know this wheel speed sensor here needs to be changed. So what we need to do is, we got that little red locking tab right there that I'm pointing to. We're gonna pull that backwards, and we'll depress this tab and pull this connector off, and then we will get an 8mm with like a 1/4" drive ratchet here, break this loose, and we'll be ready to pull this sensor out. So let me go grab some tools and we'll get right after it. Okay, I just want to show you what it looks like when you get that little red tab pulled back. These can be a real bugger sometimes, so just be careful and work it and try not to break it. If you do break it, you're gonna have to try to pry it out of there and just live without it. But if you're careful, you can typically get it to slide back. So now what I'm gonna do, because it's such a tight hole, I'm gonna use my flathead screwdriver to depress the tab while I reach up from the top side with my hand and pull it off. All right, that plug was grimy, but if you're careful and you keep depressing the tab, just working it off, it will come off of there without breaking. Now I've got this 8mm broke loose. I'm going to unscrew it by hand the rest of the way. Bolt out. We're gonna go ahead and just take our little screwdriver and just start working this puppy out, because it's easier to reach it with that. Should pop right out just like that. And wiggle her straight out. She's long, but she is out of there. Voila. So that's what we expect our replacement part to look like. Let's go grab it, and we'll take a gander at it and get it put in there. And here is our replacement unit. It looks exactly like the one that came out. This is a standard part number ALS 1932, which I will have a link up here in the video and in the description. If you would like to order this on Amazon, it does really help us out. They give us kickbacks. But otherwise, let's get this puppy slid in there. We'll tighten that 8mm down and plug her back in. All right, there you go. New sensor is in place. I will say, just make sure you're careful when you stab it. The end barely fits through the hole, and then you want to make sure you get the thread hole lined up for the bolt. But as long as you're careful going in, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this puppy plugged back in, get that lock re-locked into the clip, and we will go clear out the codes and see if they come back. So we're good to go. If that video helped you out, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if y'all want to see more.